Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel. Hope you like, share, comment and subscribe for more videos, and follow me on the gram for more content, whether it be hair, makeup, or whatever I feel like to talk about, right? So I just want to say welcome to my new subscribers. I am so happy to welcome you guys to the family. Trust me, you're not going to be disappointed, because you know the Tanganites are lit. Yes, and say hello to Tiffany. She's still here but she's fading, but you know we still have to give her some welcome, you know, because she is still a part of the family until she leaves. And God knows, you know, that friend that you want to just come out of your life, that's Tiffany right there. And I just want to say, if you are just coming to my channel, what are you waiting on? Like, subscribe, because I know this isn't your first video. I know you'll be lurking. I know, I see you, but that's okay. You just gotta get a bit familiar with my content. I post videos 2 to 3 times out of the week. One definitely being about hair, the others being about cartoons, makeup, commentary, or whatever I feel like to post. But my channel is mainly about hair, right? So let's get straight into this video. Enough of the rambling. Let us pause for the scripture of the day, and this is taken from Colossians 3 verse 15, and it says, "And let the peace of God rule in your heart, to which also ye are called in one body, and be ye thankful." Let's go back to our regular scheduled program. So, you know, it is Wednesday and I'm going to be bringing to you a next makeup and cartoon. I don't even know what to call it. Like, if you have a suitable name, comment down below what you think I should call this series, because you know your girl loves cartoons and I love to do my makeup. So yeah, so what we're going to be talking about in this video is the Emperor's New Groove. And you know what you're going to do, you're going to get some snack or get your makeup and practice with me. This lovely comment right here asked me to do this video, so that's what I'm going to be doing. And I'm going to be using my Beauty Glaze palette, Impress You, and this is what the color scheme looks like. So if you have any palette that looks like this, pick it up and follow along with me. So I'm going to be using, I'm thinking about using like the brown, reds and gold, right? And we're going to see what look I'm going to come up with. First and foremost, I'm going to prime my eyelids. So the Emperor's New Groove starts out with the beloved Emperor in llama form, right? And this is basically like a foreshadowing of what is going to happen to Kuzco. So it's like they have like this nice cool attention grabber to pique your interest into watching it, which I thought was like pretty, you know, unique. Because you know, like you're watching a show or a cartoon and you're like, oh my gosh, where is this going to go, right? But this already give you a sense of what is to come. So it's like it leaves the guessing game, because you already know that, all right, this is going to happen to Kuzco, right? How did he get to this point, right? So Kuzco is mostly narrating in this, and this movie was done like in the early 2000s, and it kind of stray away from like the Disney template, because we're used to Walt Disney giving the whole princess, you know, guy saves girl, guy is a hunk, you know, good looking and all of that. Not saying that Kuzco isn't good looking, but like Kuzco is kind of scrawny, like he's just different from like what you would usually see per se, right? So it starts out with this intro to, you know, this douchebag intro to Kuzco, like doing like it's all about him, everybody look at him, the world revolves around him, and like what can you really expect from, I'm assuming that he's an only child because the movie doesn't talk about him having any siblings, and I usually call this like the only child syndrome. Usually kids that don't have any siblings or cousins, they usually are a bit selfish. So that's what we see with Kuzco right here. And even though he's the emperor, he doesn't really have a sense of responsibility because he's used to everybody doing stuff for him, and he's used to just thinking about himself, right? So I'm trying a new look. I'm trying like a cut crease liner thing situation, so I'm hoping that it turns out good. I'm just like trusting the process, right? So yeah, so you right off the bat you get in a sense of the type of man Kuzco really is, which is kind of arrogant, kind of all for himself, like it's just not cute at all. So the main characters in this movie are Kuzco, of course, and then you have Pacha, which is like the good Samaritan, good neighbor kind of person, and then you have Yzma, who is the antagonist in this situation, and then you have Krunk, who is the dumb sidekick. And I must say Krunk put like this comedic spin on like dumb sidekick, which I really find refreshing, because usually cartoon nowadays is not like really all that clever. What they usually do is like they do like this dumb fart joke situation, which I don't find cute or appealing, but hey, that's what they think sells. So after Kuzco douchebag intro with the music and everything, we get a bit of a sense of how he actually is, right? Then like you see a scene where Pacha, I'm using the reds, you got a sense where Pacha got a letter from Kuzco because Kuzco wanted to be like a summer home on like Pacha mountain where he and his family live. So you know and even though like you can get a sense of the kind of character Pacha actually was, like this nice soft spirit, soft spoken kind of person, and you know like he wasn't really able to like stand up for himself, and which is kind of sad, because in a case where you know you might lose your home, but also like when you take into consideration the fact that like Kuzco is the emperor, and it's like you don't want to disrespect the emperor. Back in those days you can die if you oppose with whatever the emperor says, so you have to take into consideration that. But the emperor in a sense should be for the people, so it's like Kuzco being selfish. So we get to see how the depths of his selfishness, and how far he would go just to please himself. So after that scene, we see like Yzma, you know, according to Kuzco, overstepping her boundaries as an advisor. So Kuzco feeling the need to let her go, because, you know, as a leader, if you have somebody that is trying to oppose you, like, that's not really a good look. So the best thing to do is to let them go, right? That's what I would do, right? So that's what he did. So that's when Yzma and Krong started to scheme, and that's how she plotted to try and kill Kuzco. But the thing with that right there is, remember I was saying about like the whole dumb psychic situation with Krong. So Krong, being Krong, accidentally picked the wrong vial, and that's how, instead of killing Kuzco, he turned Kuzco into a llama. And it's just like, it's a bit of Kuzco's karma as well, because Kuzco hasn't been a good person per se, being so selfish. Because even in the beginning, when the old man accidentally bumped into Kuzco, he was like, oh, you threw off my groove, and he punished him just for that. That's how Kuzco turned into a llama. Yzma, trying to kill him, turned him into a llama because of Krong's stupidity and obliviousness, right? So we fast forward into, for some reason, I don't remember how Kuzco got into Pacha's cart, but he's in Pacha's cart, and Pacha opened up the red bag, and that's how you saw Kuzco. And it was all of a surprise. Ah, talking llama, demon llama, which I thought was very funny. And, you know, he offered to help, but Kuzco, being stubborn, was like, no, I don't need your help, I'm gonna go in the jungle all by myself. But Pacha, being, you know, the good person in the story, you know, followed him, tried to save him in hopes of saving his village, right? But they, after the whole montage of him trying to save Kuzco, right, they made a promise. Well, Kuzco made a promise that if Pacha helped him go into his palace, is it a palace? Let's go with a palace. Help him to go into if Pacha help him to go into his palace, then he's going to no longer want to build his summer home, which turned out to be a big lie. It was lies, I tell you, lies from the pit of hell. And, you know, because of this lie that he told, I also feel that's why he got more bad luck, right? So Pacha had to end up saving him. And, you know, it's like, it really shows the character that Pacha was, like, very selfless, you know, very forgiving. He believed that there was good in everybody, and, you know, he tried to adhere to that belief, even when Kuzco like showed him blatantly like, yo, I don't have any good in me. And that's when we really started to see like Kuzco character development, how he changed from, like, you know, this selfish person into somebody that is like actually caring for others. Because if you are used to like a certain kind of lifestyle, it's kind of hard for you to expect something different from them, you understand? Because Kuzco never really had anybody around him to teach him how to be a good person, teach him how to be loving and caring. He never had to share anything with anybody. It was just all about him. So like being in this situation where he had to actually come out of his box to try to think about somebody else for once, it was like kind of nice to really experience, like, you know, the whole growth of Kuzco, as I said before, his character development, right? And it was just like so fun. So, and granted, he doesn't even know who did this to him. Like originally he thought that Pacha did it, but seeing that Pacha is like giving his life for him, like that doesn't really make any sense, right? And then like you have like the restaurant scene because Kuzco was hungry, right? And then that's when Pacha found out that it was Yzma and Krong was the one that turned him into a llama because they wanted to kill him. But Kuzco, believing that the world revolves around him and that no one would ever want to try and hurt him, couldn't grasp the fact that Yzma wanted to kill him, right? So you're gonna fast forward a little bit up to the montage of them trying to find him and blah blah blah. Pacha wife and kids being creative in, like, you know, distracting Yzma and then setting a trap for Yzma, giving them time to be able to, you know, go to the palace, right? But then something happened, right? And I'm glad they pointed this out in the movie, because if Pacha and Kuzco almost reach the palace, how did Krong and Yzma reach in the palace before them? And that's why I thought it was funny, because you know when you're watching a cartoon and you're like, how did this happen? Like, how does this happen? And then they made a joke to say like, how did this happen? Like, this makes no sense. So I'm just cleaning that up with my concealer. So it's like, how did that happen, right? Then we have Kuzco trying to figure out which potion, you know, can turn him back into a human being, because what Yzma did, Yzma kicked over the potions, so all the potions look alike, so they were just trying to try everything. So we had a montage, sorry, of them trying to figure out which was which, you know, stuff like that. And then we get to the scene where he had to choose between becoming a human, becoming an emperor back again, to Pacha dying, right? And this is where it got like a bit really interesting, because this is where you be like, oh my god, Kuzco has grown from being this arrogant, selfish kind of person to actually being a human being, because he did not pick the potion to turn into a human being. He sacrificed being a human being back again to save his friend. Ah! Oh my gosh, I was like, yes, 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 yes. Oh my god, I was so excited for that. Acting like the first time I've ever seen it again, but you know, it feels good. I love a good character development story, you understand, especially when, you know, it's not really Kuzco's fault that he's such a douchebag, you understand. Like, he never really was taught in how to be a good human being, although you shouldn't have to be taught in how to be a good human being, but like, it's in cartoon world, it's cartoon world, like, cut it some slack. So he chose Pacha, and in some movie miracle, you know, he got the potion, cause you know he learned his lesson and whatever, so he got to be a human being. And then we see him and Pacha actually becoming. So this is my final look, guys. What do you think? I think it looks really good, you know, it's really cute and girly and stuff like that. So my final review on Emperor's New Groove, in my opinion, I would rate it a solid 7 out of 10. It was very comedic in a sense where you didn't have your typical jokes or the typical dumb sidekick, you know. Crunk had spunk, yes he do. Crunk have spunk, how about you, right? And then you have Kuzco, that was pretty sarcastic. Like, I can insert a clip right here where it was being very sarcastic when he was like, oh Pacha, like something about it's a good thing that you're not a fat guy, when he was trying to help him to get the role, right? And then when you talk about the character development, how you learned that, you know, money isn't everything and no man is an island, and it's good to have people around you that you trust, cause you know, company is nice. It's good to have somebody that you love and trust in your circle, right? And it also teach you not to be selfish, you understand? So it's like it teach you some life lessons up in there. And you know, the color saturation was nice, the animation was cool, it's still watchable in 2020, and I recommend that you let your kids watch it because it is Kuzco, like, come on, right? If you want more of these videos, cause I really enjoy doing this, right, comment down below the next animated movie that I should watch, sorry, right? My social medias will be in the description box. Stay tuned Friday for a hair video, right? Have a wonderful and blessed day, and don't forget that God loves you. Hey, hey, he loves you. Hey, hey, he loves you. Bye.